What's up, KFG gang? It's your boy Big Boy John 25. Today I'm going to do my WrestleMania 36 review on highlights part 1. So you guys know, hit that like button, hit that red button. Let's get started. WrestleMania 36 was the weirdest show ever. It felt like a 3-hour Monday Night Raw. So that's all I gotta say. Corey Graves and Rosenberg hypes tonight's free show between Cesaro and Drew Gulak. They also previewed the WWE Women's Tag Team Titles match and the WWE Universal Title match and the Triple Threat Ladder match. We see the rap video released by SmackDown Tag Team Champions The Miz and John Morrison, which was garbage, by the way. It was god awful. Rosenberg hates it. I do too. We come back from a break and a preview tonight's Intercontinental Title match. Graves goes on and sends us to Performance Center for the first match. Drew Gulak versus Cesaro. This was pretty good. We go to the empty WWE Performance Center as Michael Cole welcomes us. Drew Gulak is out first. Cesaro is out next by himself. The bell rings and they go at it. They both start with big moves in the corner. Cesaro with a big backbreaker for a 2 count. Cesaro goes for the neutralizer early on and continues to dominate by overpowering. Gulak blocks the neutralizer again and applies the crossface on the mat. Cesaro gets to the ropes and breaks the hold. Gulak dumps Cesaro over the top rope to the floor. Gulak with a flying clothesline from the apron to the floor. Cesaro fights back and rolls Gulak in the ring. Cesaro clutches his arm and comes back in, but Gulak drops the arm over the rope. Gulak sends Cesaro back to the floor. They go at it on the floor again. Gulak works on the arm and sends Cesaro's shoulder first into the steel steps and again. Gulak brings Cesaro back in. Gulak goes to the top, but Cesaro rocks him in midair with a big uppercut. Cesaro covers for a 2 count. Gulak goes right into a 2 count for his own. Gulak grounds Cesaro now and working on the arm. More back and forth now. Cesaro blocks a dragon sleeper and slams Gulak. Cesaro follows up with a big boot to the face. Cesaro goes for the neutralizer again, but it's blocked. Gulak almost gets pushed into the referee. Cesaro draws Gulak with an uppercut as he turns around. Cesaro puts Gulak on his shoulders for an airplane spin. Cesaro draws Gulak and then calls for the pin and win. The winner of the match, Cesaro. After the match, Cesaro stands tall as his music hits. We go to replay. Back from the break, Graves and Rosenberg go over the matches for night 2. Graves sends us backstage to King, Baron Corbin, and Kyle Braxton. She says tonight match with Elias end up in the air due to what happened on SmackDown 2 weeks ago. We see a replay of Corbin knocking Elias off the perch in the WWE Performance Center. Corbin isn't worried about Elias. He plays a song on a harmonica, which is god awful, taking shots at Elias and saying his kingdom cannot be stopped. We get another break in preview for the Raw Women's Title match. Corey Graves sends us to WWE backstage host Renee Young and her co-host WWE Hall of Famers Booker T and Mark Henry. They all live with each other via Skype. They discuss Shayna Baszler versus Becky Lynch. Booker goes with Becky and Henry picks Baszler to win. We go back to the set and Graves send us to another break back from the break and we get more discussion from Graves and Rosenberg, whatever his name is, Rosenberg. They go over tonight's matches one more time. Graves plus the WWE Network and other platforms to order WrestleMania 36 on. That is it for night 1 kickoff. Alright, let me move on. We see the WWE Women's Tag Team Title match. Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross versus Asuka and Kairi Sane. This tag team match was god awful. It was just the worst match of the night. We go to the ring and out comes Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. Michael Cole welcomes us as he joins by 2020 WWE Hall of Famer JBL. WWE Women's Tag Team Champions Asuka and Kairi Sane are out next. Asuka and Bliss look to start off, but we get some stalling. Kairi Sane comes in and goes at it with Alexa Bliss. Kairi Sane plays some games as well as Bliss slaps her back. Bliss mocks Kairi Sane and takes control of her. Asuka yells at Alexa Bliss. Alexa Bliss taunts Asuka now. Bliss drops on Kairi Sane and tags in Nikki Cross. Nikki Cross for a basement drop kick for a 2 count. Kairi Sane turns it around and comes Asuka. Asuka works Nikki Cross over and taunts her. Nikki Cross fights back in Alexa Bliss. Nikki Cross sends Asuka to the floor. Nikki Cross sweeps Kairi Sane on the apron and works her over. Alexa Bliss comes in, baseball slides into Kairi Sane, sending her to the floor. Alexa Bliss leaps off the apron and takes Asuka down to the floor. Nikki Cross ends up hitting a crossbody off the apron to Kairi Sane. Nikki Cross returns to the ring to celebrate with Alexa Bliss and hugs her. Alexa Bliss brings Asuka back in for a 2 count. Kairi Sane and Nikki Cross go at it again. Nikki Cross counter and Kairi Sane sends Kairi Sane to the floor. Kairi Sane pulls Nikki Cross out and rocks her. Asuka looks to double team, but Alexa Bliss kicks her back into the barrier for the ring. Asuka sends Bliss into the ring post. Kairi Sane keeps control of Nikki Cross on the floor as the referee counts. Asuka levels Nikki Cross with a big kick on the outside. The Kabuki Warrior stands tall. Asuka brings Nikki Cross back in and works her over. Kairi Sane back in and keeps Cross down, pounding on her and showing off. Alexa Bliss tags in and unloads on Kairi Sane. Alexa Bliss charges and misses the corner. Kairi Sane goes to the corner. Asuka interferes from the apron. Asuka turns Bliss upside down in the corner. Kairi Sane double team with a double stomp from the top for a close 2 count. Kairi Sane with more offense on Bliss. Another 2 count. Asuka tags back in and grounds a Bliss by her arm. Nikki Cross tries to rally for Bliss and Asuka slams Alexa Bliss back by her hair. The referee warns her. Asuka ends up hitting a big hip attack in the corner. A bulldog is missed, but Asuka drops Alexa Bliss again for another 2 count. Alexa Bliss takes Bliss back to the corner, but Bliss blocks a hip attack. Bliss ducks Asuka and rocks her. Asuka drops Bliss with a kick, but they both go down. Nikki Cross Kairi Sane tags in. Nikki Cross runs Raw and hits a bulldog across. Nikki Cross goes to the top with the crossbody for a 2 count. Kairi Sane charges in the corner, but Cross sends her to the apron. They tangle some, and Asuka comes back over as the legal one, and that's Nikki Cross. Nikki Cross and Asuka trade shots. Nikki Cross drops Asuka, but Kairi Sane breaks the pin up with her big elbow drop from the top. Asuka and Nikki Cross trade holds and attempts on the mat now. Nikki Cross gets stuck in an Asuka lock. Bliss breaks it up with the twist Bliss from the top. Kairi Sane runs in with a big spear on Kairi Sane. More back and forth. Nikki Cross climbs up and brawls with Kairi Sane on the top. Asuka joins and helps. Kairi Sane. Asuka goes for the sunset flip powerbomb. But Kairi Sane joins in and leaps, knocking Nikki Cross off the shoulders and modified Doomsday Advice. Asuka covers, but Nikki Cross kicks out at 2. Alexa Bliss gets sent off the apron again. Gets sent off the apron again. Asuka misses a shoulder on Nikki Cross in the corner. Nikki Cross with the spinning neck breaker on Kairi Sane. Alexa Bliss tags in and goes to the top floor. Twisted Bliss, Alexa Bliss, Kairi Sane for the pin to win the titles. The winner of the match is your new women's tag team champions, Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. After the match, Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross stand tall and have their arms raised as the music hits. Kyla Braxton interviews the WWE Intercontinental Champion Sami Zayn backstage with Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura. Sami Zayn is confident about beating Daniel Bryan and says he will do a few superstars have done. Walk in and walk out of WrestleMania with the Intercontinental title. We see Shayna Baszler backstage warming up. Elias versus King Baron Corbin. This match was god awful. It was garbage. We go to the ring, and out comes King Baron Corbin. Corbin says he says he's here, but Elias is nowhere to be found. He showed us why. A replay of what he knocked Elias from the perch 2 weeks ago on SmackDown. Corbin says that felt good, so will his second chance at WrestleMania. He demands the referee to count to the forfeit and raise his arm in a victory. Before the count began, we hear the familiar sound of Elias' guitar. Elias comes down walking the ramp with his guitar, and Corbin's not happy. Corbin charges the ramp, and Elias decks the clothesline. Elias shattered the guitar over. Elias on the ramp. Elias works Corbin over and sends him into the ring post. Elias enters the ring with Corbin. She backs Elias off and checks on Corbin. Corbin gets up and the bell rings. Elias runs in the corner with a big right hand. Elias keeps control and drops Corbin for a quick pin attempt. Elias keeps Corbin down and nails a swinging neckbreaker for a 2 count. Corbin finally gets an opening after catching Corbin and dropping him over the rope, sending him out to the floor. The referee counts, but Elias makes it back in. Corbin keeps control for another pin attempt. More back and forth now. Corbin runs out and right back in, leveling Elias with a big right hand for another 2 count. Corbin grounds Elias and hits him with elbow, focusing on his shoulder. Corbin yells at the announcers to tell everyone how good he is. He's god awful. He turns back around to strike from Elias. Corbin counters and launches Elias' shoulder first into the post. Corbin is all smiles now. Corbin with a 2 count. Corbin yells at the referee and gets in her face. Corbin yells at the announcers some more and goes back to beating on Elias. Elias finally gets some offense in. Corbin gets nailed with a mule kick out of the corner. Elias unloads on Corbin in the corner, beating him down as the referee warns him. Elias snaps and keeps stomping away on Corbin in the corner. Elias has lost his t-shirt now. He kicks Corbin in the face and drops him from another 2 count. Elias goes to the top, but has to roll through as Corbin moves. Corbin comes right back with a deep 6 in middle of the ring. Elias kicks out at 2. Corbin with more offensive until Elias drops him with a jumping knee to the face. Corbin kicks out just in time. More back and forth. The referee catches Corbin using his feet on the ropes for a pin. Corbin argues with the referee. Elias takes advantage and rolls Corbin up for the pin to win. The winner of the match, Elias. I didn't really care about this match. This was a god-awful match. After the match, Elias makes his exit as his music hits. Corbin throws a fit in the ring. We go to a replay. We get a video package up for our next match. Raw Women's title match, Shayna Baszler versus Becky Lynch. You mean to tell me you build up Shayna Baszler at Elimination Chamber and she won the Elimination Chamber, but when it's WrestleMania Thursday, is she going to have Shayna Baszler lose clean to Becky Lynch? Are you kidding me? This is WWE's fault for making Shayna Baszler, for ruining Shayna Baszler. Now Shayna Baszler is going to go on a rampage because she lost. And I know TM and DJ Show's going to agree with me down below in the comment section. We see her custom 18-reeler pulled up to the WWE Performance Center as Raw Women's Champion. Becky Lynch hops out and walks into the building. We go back into the arena and Shayna Baszler makes her way to the ring. Lynch makes her way to the ring next as Mike Rome does the former introductions. The bell sounds and they both go load on each other with strikes. Baszler goes for the Kirifuda clutch early on, but Becky rolls to the floor. Baszler is right on top of her, beating her around the ring side area. Tom Phillips and Byron Saxton are on commentary for this match. Baszler goes for the powerbomb Becky on the floor, but Becky sends her flying with a scissors as the referee counts. Becky sends her face first into the announcer table. Becky resets the count and launches Baszler into the steel steps. Lynch rolls Baszler back into the ring and goes for the top. Becky with a drop kick, but she comes up clutching her back. Becky unloads on the opposite corner, beating Baszler down as the referee backs her off. Becky with more offensive in the corner now. Baszler fights back, but Becky elbows her. Shayna Baszler draws Becky with a huge knee strike to the face. They tangle, and Becky avoids the clutch again. Baszler keeps fighting and drops Becky. Becky goes for the disarm her, but it's blocked. They trade strikes on the apron now. Becky ducks a clothesline on the apron and drives Baszler down into it. Becky comes back for a 2 count. Baszler ends up trying to use the disarm her. They tangle some more, and Baszler drops Becky with a big knee for a 2 count. More back and forth. The whole encounter on the apron. They end up on the floor again. Baszler launches Becky headfirst into the announcer table a few times. Becky breaks the count and comes back out, taunting Becky. Baszler rolls her back in the follows. Baszler approaches, but Becky suckers her in for a submission attempt. Becky counters and goes to the Kirifuda clutch again. Becky goes down in the hole, but flips back and turns it to the 3 count out of nowhere to retain. The winner of the match, Becky Lynch. I really want Shayna Baszler to win this match. Don't get me wrong, I love Becky Lynch. Don't get me wrong. But I really love Becky Lynch's title reign. There's no one else on the main roster to face Becky Lynch. But I'm hearing rumors that Ronda Rousey might come back. But I really want Shayna Baszler to win this match and become the new Raw Women's Champion. But anyway, the winner of the match is still Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch. After the match, Becky's music hits as she stands tall with the title. Baszler is surprised at the pin out of nowhere. We go to replay. Baszler looks on at Becky Lynch as she celebrates. The WWE Intercontinental title match, Daniel Bryan versus Sami Zayn. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy for Sami Zayn winning at the outcome, but it just felt weird, you know. Back from the break, and out comes Daniel Bryan with Drew Gulak. We see Mojo Rawley and Rob Gonozzi getting hype up on the perch. WWE Intercontinental Champion Sami Zayn is out next. Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura as Greg Hamilton does the introductions. Sami does a lot of stalling for the first few minutes. Bryan tries to get his hands on him, but Sami keeps rolling out as Cesaro and Nakamura run interference. Gulak ends up taking out Cesaro and Nakamura at ringside. Sami tries to run up on Gulak, but puts the brakes on. When Gulak turns around, Bryan tells Gulak to allow Sami to walk out as a count out. Sami says that was a smart decision. Sami goes to walk up the ramp, but Bryan takes him down. Bryan and Sami to the ring, and Sami keeps begging him to take it easy. Bryan mounts Sami and beats on him. Bryan works Sami outside and brings him back in for a missile dropkick from the top. Bryan kip ups and stops Sami from escaping the ring again. Bryan with a big slap and trash talking in the corner now. Sami tries to fight back, but Bryan keeps kicking. Bryan with a running drop kick. Sami finally drops Bryan in the middle of the ring. Sami is still yelling and laughing throughout the match. Sami rocks Bryan a few times in the middle of the ring. Bryan comes back with a drop kick. Bryan with some trash talking of his own and the yes kick while Sami is on his knees. Nakamura and Cesaro beat down Gulak at ringside, but Bryan takes them out. Bryan comes back in and comes off the top, but Sami nails a version of the hell of a kick to get the pin to retain out of nowhere. The winner of the match is still your Intercontinental Champion, Sami Zayn. You know what I'm saying? For my opinion, I would have booked Sami Zayn versus Cesaro and versus Shinsuke Nakamura in the triple threat match at SummerSlam. That's just my opinion. I would love to see that match. But anyway, after the bell, Sami briefly celebrates with Nakamura and Cesaro as we go to another break. A triple threat match for the SmackDown Tag Team Champions. Kofi Kingston versus Jimmy Uso versus John Morrison. This was the second match of the night. We go to the ring, and out first comes Kofi Kingston in the New Day and Jimmy Uso of the Usos. We see ladders all over the Performance Center. SmackDown Tag Team Champions John Morrison is out next. The bell hits, and they all go at it. We get a three-way cellmate. They all go to the floor and bring the ladders in. They start climbing up for the titles hanging above the ring. They all meet at the top and trade strikes. Jimmy stops Kofi from grabbing a title. Morrison kicks Uso ladder over. Jimmy grabs his knee and sells a injured. Kofi and Morrison trade shots up high. Morrison goes down. Kofi with a big crossbody from high up to the Uso on the mat. Morrison standing tall now after more offense. Uso approaches, but Morrison beats him down. Kofi counters Morrison on a ladder and goes for the SOS, but it's blocked. Kofi also misses the Trouble in Paradise. Usos come from behind, climb up and trade strikes up high. Kofi headbutts Jimmy to the mat. Kofi reaches for the title belt, but Morrison runs up the ladder and stops him. Morrison knocks Kofi down. Morrison tries to get the titles, but Jimmy grabs his leg and drags him down the ladder. The Uso drops Morrison with a big right hand. Kofi keeps at ladder after launching himself, but his opponent catches him and dumps him out to the floor. Morrison and Usos go at it now. Morrison with a thumb to the eye and ladder shot to the knockout. Uso back to the mat. Morrison wedges a ladder in the corner over the middle rope. Morrison rounds a ladder into Jimmy's injured knee. Morrison ends up dropping Uso on another ladder bridge in the corner. Morrison is alone now. He positioned a ladder and climbs. Kofi launches himself in and takes Morrison off the ladder with a flying hurricanrana. Morrison is down on the outside with Uso now. Kofi gets up in the ring. Uso and Morrison are recovering on the floor. Kofi climbs for the title but stops to kick Uso. Kofi and Uso trade shots now. Kofi sends Uso on the apron and knocks him off. Morrison brings a ladder over, but Kofi leaps out to the floor, taking Morrison and the ladder down. Uso runs the burial on the outside, but Kofi launches the ladder at him and it's hard, knocking Uso to the floor. Kofi tosses some trash and kicks Uso to keep him down. Kofi brings a ladder from the ring and the burial now. Then decks Uso again. Kofi is looking to put Uso out of action here. Kofi placed Uso on the top of the ladder bridge, pounding away on him. Morrison goes to the top, but Kofi cuts him off from the apron. Kofi goes to the opposite corner. Morrison is still on the other top turnbuckle. Morrison walks to the top rope over to Kofi's corner. Kofi with a huge Spanish fly from the top. Uso follows up with the Uso splash to Morrison. All three are down in the ring now. Kofi tries to stop Uso from climbing up. Kofi follows Uso up the ladder and they trade strikes. Kofi knocks down to the mat. Uso hangs on and keeps climbing. Kofi climbs up in the inside of the ladder now, knocking Uso down. Kofi climbs for the titles, but Morrison meets him up top and stops him. Kofi rocks Morrison up high and headbutts him to the mat. Kofi reaches for the titles, but Morrison stops him again. Kofi with a big double stomp from the top, taking Morrison back down. There's a ladders bridge from the standard ladder in the ring. In the middle rope now. Kofi fights off and sends him back down. Kofi flies from the ladder, but Uso kicks him. Uso sends Kofi face first into the ladder bridge to the middle rope. Uso with some trash talking now. Morrison springboards off the ladder bridge, but also super kicks him on the way down. Uso plays Morrison on the bridge now. Uso stands a ladder up in the corner. Uso climbs up while Morrison is down on the bridge. Morrison gets up and tips ladder over. Uso falls out at ringside on the floor. Morrison is alone in the ring. Morrison clears the ring for a few ladders. Morrison climbs up for the titles now. Moving slowly, Morrison grabs the title, but here comes Kofi. Kofi climbs up and rocks Morrison a few times. Morrison fights back as Kofi reaches for the title. Uso brings a ladder and stands it next to their ladder. Uso climbs up and fights with them. All three grab for the titles now. They unclip the title holder, but their struggle for possession. Morrison gets knocked back to the ladder bridge by headbutts. Kofi and Uso are still high up with the title holder, but Morrison fell with the actual title belts in his hand, hitting hard on the ladder bridge. Morrison retains for he and the Miz. The winner of the match, John Morrison. This was the match of the night. Second match of the night. After the bell, Kofi and Uso argue some up top, and they still holding the title holder. We still go to replay that showed how Morrison felt with the titles. Morrison music hits as he laughs while down on the mat. Uso and Kofi aren't happy. Back from the break, we get a video package for next match. Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins. This was the match of the night. If you guys agree with me that Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins was the match of the night, give me 40 likes on this video right now. Tom and Byron are back on commentary for this match. Seth Rollins is out first, and he's by himself. Kevin Owens makes his way out next. The bell rings. Seth Rollins plays mind games early on, but they go at it. They go to the floor, and Owens unloads, sending Rollins into the burial. Rollins gets free and runs back in. Owens follows and dodges a stump. Owens fights Rollins into the corner and beats him down as the referee warns him. Owens talks trash and taunts Rollins now. Rollins kicks Owens' butt. Owens drops him and hits a senton. Owens talks trash and delivers another senton. Owens with more trash talking. Owens readies for a corner cannonball, but Rollins rolls to the floor. Owens falls and racks Rollins again. Owens launches Rollins into a burial as the referee counts. Owens with another shot into a burial. Owens resets and counts and taunts Rollins some more on the outside. Owens brings it back in the ring and stops Rollins. Rolling out. Owens has Rollins in the apron now. Owens goes for the powerbomb on the apron, but Rollins backdrops him on the apron. Rollins with a big Falcon arrow on the apron. Rollins taunts Owens, and now while he's down on the outside. Rollins with a suicide dive to the floor and more trash talking as the referee. The referee counts Owens out. Rollins with a big suicide dive. Rollins talks more trash and goes for another dive, but this time Owens rocks him at the ropes. Rollins comes right back with a sling blade as Owens re-enters. Rollins mounts Owens with strikes now. Rollins kicks Owens in the back a few times. Rollins taunts Owens as he kicks him back on the mat. Owens dodges a stomp attempt for another. Owens comes back in with the DDT. Owens keeps control with a super kick in the corner. Owens with a corner cannonball Owens goes back to the top with a big senton for another close 2 count. Owens stops Rollins from escaping to the floor. Rollins dodges a pop-up powerbomb. Rollins blocks a roll-up. They tangle. Owens' stunner is blocked. Rollins with the insecurity. Owens comes right back in with a clothesline, and they both down again. Owens brings Rollins to the top for a superplex. Rollins fights back, but Owens headbutt him. Owens goes for the superplex, but Rollins hangs on again. Rollins rakes at Owens' eye. Rollins goes for the sunset bomb, but it turns into a buckle bomb across the ring. Rollins follow up with a super kick in another while Owens is on his knees. Rollins charges again, but Owens catches him with a pop-up powerbomb for a close 2 count. Rollins goes to the floor to escape, but Owens stops him. Rollins grabs the timekeeper's belt out of nowhere and drops Owens with it. The referee calls for the match. The winner by disqualification, Kevin Owens. After the bell, Rollins laughs some more and hits the bell. Owens' music hits and Rollins limps away, looking down at Owens and laughing. Rollins is all smiles. Trash talking taken as he makes his exit. Owens stumbles to his feet and takes the mic. Owens rolls into the ring and yells at Rollins to stop. Owens says Rollins doesn't get to the end it this way. Owens calls Rollins a little you-know-what and calls him back in the ring to finish it once and for all. As no DQ rules, Matt. No disqualification, no rules. Rollins asks Owens when he just going to learn. No disqualification match. Seth Rollins versus Kevin. This is Seth Rollins versus Kevin Owens. This was the match of the night. If you guys, and I know DJ Shorts and team are going to give me 40 likes on this video, and they're going to agree with me. This was the match of the night. Seth Rollins returns to the ring and the bell rings. Rollins with a big running knee to the face. Rollins tosses Kevin Owens to the floor. Rollins follows and unloads on Owens against the burial. Rollins launches Owens into the burial again. Rollins shows off and continues running his mouth. Rollins takes apart the steel ring steps. Now, Rollins grabs the top half and charges with it, nailing Owens in the head to knock him back down. Rollins grabs the steel chair and continues taunting Owens. Rollins with steel chair shots Owens while he's down near the announcer table. Owens is still calling Rollins a you-know-what. Rollins delivers more chairs and shots. Rollins argues with the referee, who tells him to finish it in the ring. Rollins says he can do whatever he wants. Rollins tears apart the announcer table. Owens grabs the belt and drives Rollins with it. Another bell shot knocks Rollins on the top of the announcer table. Owens climbs on the top of WrestleMania sign, which is awesome, by the way. That was awesome by Kevin Owens, which is up high. He delivered a huge senton that pulls Rollins through the announcer table. It looks like Owens barely connects. Owens struggles to bring Rollins back in the ring. Owens grabs Rollins in the middle of the ring and drives him with a stunner. Owens covers for the pin to win. The winner of the match, Kevin Owens. This was the match of the night. After the match, Owens gets back to his feet and his music hits. We go to replays. Owens hobbles over the ropes and looks down at Rollins on the floor. Owens back up to the middle of the ring and salutes as we go to a break. We go to the perch with Rob Gronkowski and Mojo Rawley. They're interrupted by WWE 24/champion R-Truth. His life has been ruined by the title. He just needed a place to hide out. He asked Mojo and Gronk if he can't hide out up here, they would be but hide up there. But he offends them. Truth gets dropped by Gronk and Truth. Gronk goes for the pin, but Mojo Rawley robs him and steals the pin to win the title. Mojo celebrates and Gronk looks over at him, shocked. Charlotte Caruso is backstage. She interrupted by Paul Heyman. Heyman hypes up WWE champion Brock Lesnar for tomorrow's match against Drew. Tom and Byron hypes up the card for WrestleMania Night 2 of WrestleMania 36. The WWE Universal title, Braun Strowman versus Bill Goldberg. This match was terrible. This is one of the worst match ever. This is terrible. We go back to the ring, and out first comes Braun Strowman. WWE Universal Champion Bill Goldberg is out next as the smoke hits for his entrance. The WWE Hall of Fame marches to the ring, but Braun stares him down. We get the former ring introductions from Hamilton. The bell rings, and they stare each other down. They meet in the middle of the ring, and Braun talks trash. Goldberg smiles and nods. Goldberg strikes first with a kick to the gut. Strowman dodges a move in the corner. Strowman goes for the power slam, but Goldberg slides outside the way, hit a big spear. Braun gets right up and eats at another spear. A third spear. Goldberg with a 2 count. Goldberg continues to dominate for a few more moves. Strowman counters a jackknife and hits a 3 big power slams. Braun yells at Goldberg to get up. Braun nails a 4th power slam for the pin to win the title. The winner of the match and new WWE Universal Champion Braun Strowman. So it took 4 spears for power. It took like 4 power slams to perform Braun Strowman and 4 spears for Goldberg. This match was god awful. We go to a promo of WrestleMania. We get a promo for WrestleMania 37. We also get a promo for the next match, boneyard match, AJ Styles versus The Undertaker. This match was very good. This match was awesome. It really saved the show on this one. We cut to the cemetery, And as we hear the Undertaker's traditional music in the background, A hears, pulls up, engages, and drives in. The two hooded figures step out and open the back door. A coffin slides out, but AJ Styles pops up and laughs. He's loud and ready, wearing his shirt and jeans. He's ready for the dead man. Where are you? Music suddenly hits and we get a shot of Taker riding his motorcycle on the road. Taker drives into the cemetery with more American bad you know what look. AJ is ready to fight. It looks like. Taker steps out of the shadows into the light. AJ says he didn't think he would show up and wonders if Michelle McCool knows he's out this late. AJ says he's dug Taker's grave for him. We see the open hole. Taker says AJ dug his own grave. They talk trash continues. The trash talking between Undertaker and AJ Styles was good. I really enjoyed it. Taker approaches and AJ grabs a brick, but Taker drops him and talks trash while beating him around. Taker brings AJ over and calls him by Allen. And he tries to get away. Taker sends AJ into the coffin door and slams him into it several times. Taker grabs a piece of steel off the ground and goes to use it, but AJ moves and Taker's arm goes through the hearse door. Taker is bleeding and he's not happy about it. Taker continues to beat on AJ around. AJ crawls on the top of the car and Taker follows him, taunting him. Taker mounts AJ on the top of the car and allows Wright warning him to never talk about his wife again. AJ falls off the car and finally turns it around, but Taker manhandles some more. Taker knocks AJ into the empty grave. Luke Gallows and Carlson call Taker out and says they're just getting started. Taker is suddenly surrounded by derds. Taker starts brawling and gets beat up at one point. Taker makes the comeback and here comes AJ. AJ works Taker over and yells that Taker made him break his finger. AJ yells at Taker to just retire and end this. AJ gets the upper hand again and talks more trash while Taker is down. AJ mounts Taker's another big right hand. Taker crosses through the grass while AJ stalks him and still talking trash. AJ calls Taker a broken down, oh, you know what. AJ grabs a shovel while Taker sits up on his knees. AJ says he is doing the world a favor by burying what his left of Taker. Taker slowly gets up in pain. Taker breaks the shovel of his back, sending Taker into the empty grave. We see Taker on his back, laid out on a hole. AJ pours a handful of dirt, ashes to ashes, dust to dust. AJ climbs up on a tracker and crank it up. Taker somehow appeared next to AJ on the tracker and the lights shining on behind him. Taker unloads on AJ, who is shocked. Taker beats AJ off the tracker over to the side. Taker is looking a bit different and talking more trash as AJ climbs up on the barn. Taker makes flames rise from a few seconds. Taker fights off AJ, Gallows, and Anderson. Taker scoops Anderson and hits a tombstone on the top of the tent of the roof in the barn. AJ fights Taker, but Taker gets the upper hand. Taker delivers a huge chokeslam from the roof of the barn down through the box on the ground. Taker climbs down and taunts AJ, asking him if he's remembered Taker's wife now, or is it remembers Taker's ages now. Taker says they're not done yet, just getting started. Is it that what AJ told him? Taker scoops AJ onto his shoulders and brings him over the empty grave. Taker drops him next to the hole. AJ says he's sorry, he don't bury me. Taker asks AJ to say what he's sorry for. AJ begs again for Taker's not burying him. Taker holds AJ by his throat, taunting him some more. Taker says AJ puts up a hell of a fight for his you know what off. AJ doesn't want to bury. Taker hugs AJ and pats him on the back. Taker says that's a lot of people haven't given him the fight AJ did. Taker says AJ is good, brother. Taker goes to walk away, but stops. He turns back around and kicks AJ into the hole with a big boot. Taker stares down at AJ and then walks off. And then walks to the tractor, which is full of a load of dirt. Taker starts the tractor up and dumps the load of dirt onto AJ in the hole. Taker turns off the tractor and we hear the bell tool. He hops off the tracker and the bell tolls again, and Undertaker. And again, Taker removes the cover of the tombstone and it has AJ's name on it in the 1977 through 2020 with a rest in peace message. The winner of the match, The Undertaker. This match saved us. This was a good one. Taker puts on his bandana back on and gets his motorcycle. AJ Fish showing punching through the dirt. Taker cranks his bike back up and raises his fist in the air, which makes flames jump out and barns as his purple logo appears on the front of the barn. Metallica, now that we're dead, starts back up. Taker speeds out of the cemetery. Night 1 of WrestleMania 6 goes up the air. You know what I'm saying? WrestleMania 36 was the weirdest show, but there were some good matches of the night. I'll put The Undertaker versus AJ Styles on my top match one of the night. The second match of the night was the SmackDown Triple Threat ladder match for the SmackDown Tag Team Champions. That's the second match of the night. And number 3, Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins. What's the match of the night? That was the third match of the night. If you guys agree with me in the comment section, let me know down below in the comment section. Follow me on my Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok will be down below in the description. And I will see you guys for WrestleMania 36 Part 2. This your boy, Big Boy John 25. Guys later. I'll see you guys at WrestleMania 36 for Part 2. Big Boy John 25, and I'm out of here.